Welcome to Jerk and Jollof with the Jufes. And thank our sponsors, Jerk and Jollof Restaurant, 37 Manor Road, Wallington. Go there, hit them up for your Jerk and Jollof. It's absolutely amazing. Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome to another edition of Jerk and Jollof with the Jufes. Today, as you can see, sitting to my right, we have this rather large, imposing figure, Mr. Freddie Nwaka. Freddie Nwaka is a very good friend of mine, very, very close friend for a very, very long time. He is a movie maker, writer, producer, actor, rapper. There's just too many accolades to be bestowed upon him. He's won a Screen Nation's Award? Yeah, Screen Nation Award for his film The Living Dead, which is out now. Amazing movie, you need to go and catch that. Movies in the making, all sorts anyway, but you're going to get to hear from the man himself in a second. Today's topic is called When Did It Become Cool to Be African? Yeah? So this is going to be a funny one, guys, because there's so many stories to be told in this one. So Freddie, let's start you off, man. Tell us what you're doing now.
Well, I'm just been mad busy with this, the last film, The Living Dead, do you know what I'm saying? So that's out now. I've got a rom-com about to come out Christmas with Judy Love, Vanessa Feltz, Kane Brown for Valentine's Day, and I just finished this film.
Is that the one with Pete Andre in it as well?
No, that's another one, man.
Okay, say no more.
You know how I do this thing. It's the African thing.
Say no more.
And I just wrapped this movie with Peter Andre and his son, Lady Leisha's in it, Kane Brown. There's bare people in that film called On the Other Foot, man. So I've just been mad busy, bro.
Excellent. Well, you know, we like to get like good guests in on our podcast. You know, we can't have just anyone rolling through. You know, so but let's get into the meaty topic about when it became cool to be African, because you and I have a lot of different experiences that like these young'uns here are not really gonna quite have had, because I feel like the time we were coming up, things were quite different in that sort of like situation about being African. Yeah, so let me hear about some of your experience about sort of like growing up as a young'un, like being African. Obviously, with a name Nwaka, like there's no hiding. Just like my surname Jufe, there's no hiding.
My thing was mad. I used to walk in the class, they called me Nwanka, but I was getting rich. And everyone said, make sure it says, Mr. Nwanka. I said, no, it's Nwaka. That's what I said, Nwanka. Don't take this. You know what I'm saying? Man was getting rinsed.
Now you must have got it with that.
I was getting rinsed. And there was this guy, I forgot his name. You know, with the tribal marks.
Oh,
and they used to call him Adidas Free Stripe on his face. Man, Adidas marks on his face.
Do you know what? Back in the day, right? I'm not sure what tribes, whether they were specifically Nigerian tribes or other African countries where they had the tribal marks, and I believe that was to do with stopping other tribes from stealing your children or something. Was it something along those lines?
No idea, man. Let's get a gun, man.
But anyway, they had these markings on their face, and these markings were so severe. They were very, very harsh looking. And like, but you know, for an African person, like they just wear it with pride. They didn't see nothing in it. But like when you was a youth growing up in the UK and you saw it, especially if that wasn't from your culture, you'd be thinking, what is this?
Do you know what I thought? I mean, I'm not sure if it's true. I heard it was to ward off evil spirits.
Could be.
And things like that. But like you said, they were so harsh looking, man. They looked like they got whipped with
when I was young, I thought man got chefed or something. I thought man chefed him down in his face and that.
Well, do you remember seeing that?
Yeah, of course.
And because you don't see it so much nowadays, though.
No, but when we back in the day,
a
lot.
I used to see them a lot, but I used to think it was to separate separate tribes.
That's what I thought.
From different tribes.
It could be different. It could be a variety of reasons.
Maybe they were just bored and just wanted to do.
No, they never.
No, I'm joking, man. But no, for real. I heard it was something to do with like tribes, but also warding off evil spirits and things like that. And I think those guys that had the markings, they got rinsed the worst. They got hammered the worst, man.
I'd say, especially if you was young and you was at school with something like that, that must have been like severe. Yeah. Very severe. Very, very severe. But I think there's so many different aspects of it. I mean, like, we'll get into sort of like when, as I call it, sort of like it became cool to be known as being African. Because I think that when we was at school, apart from the names that people ridiculed because they weren't used to it and it wasn't a Smith or a Jones or a whatever, now people realise, okay, well, actually, we've got like our real ancestry, we've got our real names.
Yeah, we know what it was though, but so to cut you know what it is. Do you know who made it not cool for us? the Caribbeans. No talk, man. It's Jamaicans. They made it that it wasn't cool for us because when we used to come in class, they used to give us those names: African bubble scratcher.
Oh God.
Bubble. That came from them persecuting us.
Bubble was the one. But you
Scoops. Do you remember Scoops?
Yeah.
Scoops.
Especially you lot must have got, because you lot are quite blick. So back then, you lot must have got the blick thing, innit? The African bubble scratcher, blick, this, that.
It used to get rinsed.
Blah blah blah.
Rinsed.
But what it is I think a lot of it was obviously just like based on just sheer ignorance. Because,
100%.
you know, a lot of people, you know, from the Caribbean at that time, I don't think that they really had much knowledge of sort of like self about kind of like where our origins are from, and like, you know, that black people are originally from Africa. And a lot of people have kind of like taken their time now to kind of like trace their ancestry line, and they know what, even up to what tribe they come from. They'll trace back their sort of like, what's it called? Genealogy, is it? Is that how you pronounce it?
I'm not going to try, man. Let me stupid. You
But
do it
anyway,
yourself,
they trace back their ancestry
G-ting.
line. They trace back their ancestry line
I get involved in that.
to whatever country it is.
The G-ting.
So yeah, but it is very, very interesting, and I think it's really nice now how people are kind of like embracing it and embracing the fact that that they recognise that that's where they're from. But I think that the media are fucked up, because all they ever did and still continue to do is show stupid pictures of like starving children with flies on their faces. That's the only fucking thing that Africa's got to offer. Small children, starving, ribs, you know what I mean, fucking barbecue ribs
Always
and flies
dry.
on the face.
Always dry. Always hungry, always thirsty. Always hungry, always thirsty. Always needing help.
Always
Always
dry.
need help. Always need help.
Always.
Donate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
£3 a month. Whatever.
And this time you don't see all the beautiful structures. If you see some of the countries, if you see like some of the houses there that people are living in,
honestly, it's
they're
lovely.
a million times better than some of the yards here.
People think that we, well, I'm going to say we, but Africans still live in mud huts.
Yeah, it's
Well,
ridiculous.
some of them do, but that's not the point.
No, but
Some of them do, but that's not the point.
you know what I mean.
We've evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Houses are better out there than they are over here, surprisingly. You'd be very
Some of them,
surprised.
yeah.
They're beautiful.
Some of them.
But I must admit though, you know, like growing up in that time, a lot of us, I feel like a lot of us we were confused. I know I was confused because them times their school days, I thought I was Jamaican for a bit. Yeah. I did. I used to chat on sound system, didn't it? So when you remember chat on sound system, because back then weren't no African man chatting on sound system in Nigeria.
Never.
Jiggy.
What are you doing? My name-
Jiggy.
Hey, dance now.
Yeah, so man was chatting in Jamaican, innit? So I was walking around with Bali. You know
So what? Go on.
yeah.
Do the accent. What was you doing? Like what sort of accent?
What Jamaican accent?
Yeah, how do it like?
I was doing like 10,000 girls or more. I was doing the whole racket thing,
Oh,
innit? You know what I mean? Yeah, I was trying to. I had my old Bali killer thing going on. I was killing it.
No, it was killing it. I ain't gonna lie, it was actually killing it. I remember one particular carnival, right? I hope I can mention the name. Anyway, fuck, I'm saying what it is, right? There was one particular carnival, and like Freddie went there on the mic, and I think he was shutting it down on the mic, and I think because General Levy, I think had not sure. I think the style was similar. It had a similar style, and General Levy must have said something to Freddie that he didn't like. Freddie rushed him in the carnival
On the stage,
and Levy ended up running over to the. I think he was running towards the fence or
security,
something like that.
security.
Yeah, security or something like that. Yeah. Freddie was putting it on him.
rushing
like,
back from
okay,
earlier and
sure.
that.
That's my boy. You know what I mean? But now Freddie was doing his thing, man.
Yeah, I think there's a big gap of like, I guess like an identity crisis, isn't it? Where like I'll be wearing Bali, wearing those. You know, like we
You had all them suits, innit?
Yeah.
Freddie,
I was
listen,
like,
Freddie had leopard suits.
Yeah.
Zebra suits.
Yeah.
Like all of them kind of like made, like
Tailor-made suits.
He thought he was Shabba Ranks.
Listen, I thought I was Shabba Meat Capleton. I even had the hat. You know what? I could go on my phone now and show the camera up.
You say string vest, everything.
Bruv, string vest, everything, man.
Everything.
Even the lean. I had the lean, the walk, everything. Chatting on the mic.
You said patty and cocoa bread for breakfast.
Everything, brother.
You know what's funny though? You say that, but a lot of the style that you've described must have derived from somewhere.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of it has actually come from Africa anyway.
Yeah, but I didn't know that.
No, but at the time, you know, like there's a lot of things, even down to the way Jamaicans dance. When I was looking at it the other day, a lot of the Jamaican dances, like the dirty wine, I was watching it where a tribal actual group was doing the dirty wine. So it's come from Africa anyway. So are you really trying to... I know at the time you didn't think it, but did you think, you was ripping off the Jamaican culture at the time? Do you know what I mean?
I thought it was Bounty Killer. That's what it was. That's straight. I thought I was Bounty Killer, and there was no African in me in regards to...
But there was though, and you didn't realise it.
I didn't know. I wasn't aware.
But look, until you get home.
Yeah.
My meat.
Take off the hat. Take off the hat.
You said you had to change at the front door.
Yeah. Put
a change
and sneak in with a book and a library bag.
Glasses and that.
No, but what I want to know now, right, is like, say for example, when you went to go and chat to girls, right, like, did you ever get that line like, oh, you don't look like you're African, or did you not tell them that you was African, or how did you drop it? Like, was your surname Smith, or was it like, what was your name?
You know what the funny thing is, right? Even now, I still get you don't look African, but now...
Which is such a stupid comment.
Yeah, now you can say, but what does African look like? But
Exactly.
then, when I used to say that, I used to be good, I'm happy.
So what's your name? Darren.
Name Mark. Name them sexy names. Because let's be real. Africans had the dead names like George,
Emmanuel,
Ben. You know what I mean? And the Caribbeans had the sexy names like Trayvon. You know what I mean? Names that sound like aftershave.
That's right.
Yeah. That sexy names. And Africans had bare dead names, Gerald. And Chris, did them boring names?
No, Jamaicans used to have bare dead names as well.
They did.
Cuthbert,
Winston.
Yeah.
Desmond.
Schubert,
I must admit,
Yeah.
One time I was in New
Albert.
York. I went to New York, and I was getting ready to buy something, and I had all my money out. And I went to go and buy this leather jacket, this goose jacket, and I saw these American dudes behind me, like looking at me. So so in my head, I'm thinking, I could tell they were looking to move to me, innit? Because first of all, I was talking English. I said, how much is that jacket? Innit? I was talking blatant English. So I took out my money, and in the side of my eye.
Where's this?
In New York.
Okay.
And I saw these American dudes watching me, innit? So I was thinking, oh, fuck, now they're gonna rob me, innit? So all I could think of was like turning to Bounty Killer, innit? So when I got, hey yo, how much for them thing there, yeah? All I heard of them say, man, he a crazy Jamaican man. I was like, yeah. So you know what I mean? You have to check. I have to turn it on when you need it to save your life. You know what I mean? Everyone was scared of Jamaicans back then. But they're loud, innit? They start shouting and screaming and cuss bomber club, that. Nobody getting scared.
Until man knew better.
Yeah. No better. Yeah. For real.
That's true. But there was that time. There was a time when the Maddies, the Yardies rep was mad.
Yeah, mad.
Like, man say Yardies, everyone just started to run.
Yeah.
For no reason as well.
No reason.
It was the blood clot. It's the blood clot. So you hear blood clot.
Start twist up their mouth.
The goatee and that. It was the goatee.
Yeah,
and all that
The
thing.
goatee and the loudness. It's always
the loudness, yeah.
But the only thing that used to always confuse me is like, all the times when I was doing doors and security, why is it they always have to go for their thing? Why ain't never got it on you? They always, my method go for my things, my method this, they're always going to get something. You know what I'm saying? It's never on them.
I remember got older, man clocked that they was the same. The Africans and
we're all the
Jamaicans
same.
The loudest, that.
But very, very generic.
Especially like Yardies. Yardies and then like the deep. I don't know whether it's Nigerians or certain even down to Gambians. When man's in Gambia and certain man's in the club and that man's in the dance.
but
man can't tell.
No, you couldn't tell.
You can't tell whether you're in the middle of flipping
Kingston
or
Gambia.
They move nuts.
They proper think they're Yardies over there as well.
Yeah,
Even though, but the difference is, right, say like when you go into a club in Gambia, right, they'll be playing beer ragga, everyone will be dressed a certain way, they'll be skanking, beard dreads around, bunning weed, everything. And then you see someone and you look at them, right, and then like, you know, they got that tough look. And like, what's he fucking looking at? You know what I mean? You say, you're right, my man? Oh, yes, my brother. They're just so humble, bro. They got the mean look on their face, but they're so humble. It's unbelievable. It's so humble. You know what I mean? But
and you know what's funny as well, what I find mad, you know when you go to these other countries, right, especially if you go like Jamaica or the Caribbean, it's like, I think they're the only places where, you know, when a song like, I don't know, like a Michael Jackson or one of them mad tune comes on, they still dancing like it's the normal tune. They start rocking out like it's a normal tune. And that's where it's here, you would hear it in a dance. You go to a dance there and them tunes there will come on and the man will be dancing like it's, like they're all doing the same dance to the same tune. That's another thing that I find similar when I went to Nigeria. It's exactly the same kind of thing. So I think we're very much the same, man.
Yeah.
You can't really tell from
a lot of ways. In a lot of ways. But I think I think the key thing that we're asking though, the question that we're asking. Oh no, there's one scenario actually. I remember when I was at school. Yeah, there was a girl. I won't hate her out. Yeah, there was a girl. Yeah. And I think she was quite cute, and she used to go out with one of the name brand guys, you know what I mean, one of the It Boys, and but she hid the fact from him that her parents were African. Really? So there was one big assembly, or there was some concert or something going on, you know, when all the parents and everyone are coming down, all the rest of it. So obviously her mum and dad come in traditional, innit?
No, said the full robe.
She was fucked. She was
so even pretend.
Listen, she was so embarrassed. She was so embarrassed that her parents come there and kind of like, you know, so obviously it got back to the youth.
She was like, it's my foster parents.
Yeah. It got back to the guy that she was African and this, that, and I don't know if he dumped her or whatever, but yeah, she was pissed. She was pissed, man. She was so pissed.
I think now it, like you said, now it's like, now you can be proud. Whereas before, there was a level where you wasn't.
Listen,
since Afrobeats come out.
No, before that.
I think even from when Tinchy Strider.
Tinchy Strider?
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you something.
He wasn't even.
Let me tell you something.
No, I'm saying that era.
Yeah, what changed things completely and turned the whole thing on its head was, remember, when you had the likes of Lethal, Tinchy, what's my man?
But that was more just grime though.
They were more grime.
Tiny.
So we're not talking about Afrobeats.
Tiny.
We're saying who? Tiny Temper.
Yeah, that era.
Because all of these youths are African and they're all coming through and they're making noise, making bread, making the whole music scene and everything be banging. You can't be this in African youths and this time the ones who were heading on at the top of the music at that time were Africans. So that had a huge.
I think between them, and then
I don't know because
and
all
the
now
Deets man
I thought I didn't know Tiny Temper was African.
You don't know because you're not in the grime scene.
So between them and the Deets man them, because most of the phone man them, they had all the bread. You get me? They had all the bread.
Yeah,
So I was like,
100%.
I was saying, all the yard man, yo. You rob a little show there with the African man, with the fraud man, then we get a little money. See? Yeah, I said.
That's true.
Got a yard on a one-way ticket.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Facts.
But when you look at the leaders in their craft, look at Idris African.
Yeah.
True.
Do you know what I mean? And AJ African.
Yeah.
And even when you look at the footballers who started to come over to the UK as well, a lot of African footballers started to come over.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah. So there's so many things culturally, like I feel that like Africans were so involved in the youth culture, the music culture, whatever else in the UK, that it didn't make sense like cussing or hating on the Africans at all. It didn't make sense. I mean, I heard one artist made a silly comment at the what was it? What's the awards we got? The rated awards. And he started saying about how all the Africans are getting the awards because of Posty's African, which was really stupid and divisive. And I think that's what has kind of like really stopped. We've come together as black people and stop looking at each other as like, hey, you're African, you're Caribbean. No, we're one people. And I think that's been a beautiful thing. And definitely, as we were saying, is that I feel that like the grime had one of my friends actually was the one who actually kind of like put me on and said, no, remember, it was the grime, this, that, and the other. He was supposed to be in the podcast, but you know, some man, you can't pick up, they go and pick up their phone, so it's just like, whatever. But it's like, he was saying, no, it's the grime man them. And I said, yeah, you know what, you're right. Because I went straight to Afrobeats, because Afrobeats is mad. Afrobeats is just like, a worldwide sensation. People love Afrobeats, and so
I think with grime though, it wasn't more about where you was from. It was just more about how hard the track was.
No, it is
because no one didn't really know where anyone was from.
Listen. When you're an artist and you're in the scene, right? People know whether you're African or Caribbean because you grew up in the same.
Man knew Tinchy was African. Man knew Lethal was African.
Yeah.
These things were known.
They're known facts. So you can't. So
To
you
the
can't.
masses?
To the masses.
They didn't really hide it.
Yeah. It wasn't hidden. Look at Skepta and JME.
Yeah.
No, but the stuff that Skepta's dropping now, he weren't dropping them kind of tunes back in the day.
No, he
No, I'm
wasn't.
saying
But we're not
them
saying
man
that.
don't hide the African. Them man will.
Yeah, but I'm
Dress
saying
up
back
in
in the
a
day,
certain
it wasn't
attire.
even about that. It wasn't more like now. It's more cultural.
No, but
innit?
I think
I'm saying
you're
it's
missing
about
the
that, but
point,
I'm saying the point is that if these men are running things and these men are the head of their craft, and you can't, how you diss him, man? Because he's repping. and
No, but I'm saying, because the question is when it was cool, because no one didn't really know, but obviously
People-
they were
but listen-
what they were, but it wasn't. They weren't dropping like Afrobeat types tunes.
No, but we're not
where you
saying
think,
it's
"Oh,
that,
them
though."
man might be African.
We're not saying
No,
that.
but man might have a bar, half Nigerian, half man a Ghana boy, or whatever it is. Man will have the bar. So, like, let's say for example, if in your head you had that ignorance, like, African men are dead, or they're wet, or they're not, they're anything or whatever. But if you're a fan of the music or the craft and well, hold on, my favorite artist is African.
No, but you don't really think like that. At the time...
No, but you're saying that. Why do you think that, though?
Because I grew up in that era.
No, but that's you.
That's you, though. You
Exactly.
can't
So
think like
obviously, I'm with the person that used to listen to that type of music. So I'm thinking, I wasn't thinking where man was from. It was just more about the music. Where now it's more the type of music they're making. It's more culturally based.
Yeah, but it's culturally based. But what we're saying is, though, like, it's like when they was actually making their music, the music may not have been about the fact that they were African, but the fact is that I can't say that I rate your music, I rate you, but fuck where you're from. They knew where they was from. So they realized, okay, well, there's no point in us discriminating anymore and start saying African. So you can't be sitting down with a bag of man. And where normally you might say, yeah, they're fucking silly Africans or this, that, and the other. You can't say that now while the man them that you're spitting bars with, that you look up to as well, are African. So that means you have to change your attitude, or you certainly have to change what you're saying.
And also, you know, another thing, which is, I mean, it's slightly off. There was a time where, like the school days, most of the Africans were more submissive and more quiet.
100%.
But then it got to the point where, boy, African man started getting wicked, didn't
Started
he?
punching man
Yeah,
up.
started
Wicked.
punching man up.
Punching
and-
man up.
yeah,
Wicked.
doing things. So when
Wicked.
you couldn't disrespect Africans because you get yourself lit up real quick.
Yeah, quickly.
And a lot of the money that was being made around England was Africans making all the money. So you had to respect the hustle as well as, do you know what I mean? So there was a massive shift in not only in just in entertainment, but also in making paper.
The roads.
The roads were getting serious.
There was a few people who went down from African youths who were putting in work, 100%. But
for real.
but I think, but on a more positive note though, like I think like the music itself and like when the Afro beats came, I think that was a game changer, complete game changer. Because we have to remember as well that it's not only just about that. I feel that like even if we take kind of like the riots, for example, like the Brixton riots and stuff like that, like at that time, remember when Africans were coming over to the UK, they were coming over to study and to get that free education or whatever it is. So if your parents had managed to bring you over from Africa and they said, right, they know that they've got to pay for schooling in Africa, right, but you're over here and you're getting free schooling and you're not getting A's and you're not getting B's and you're not getting like proper like exam results, you're getting some licks, fam, because that's what you're supposed to do. And like, you know, they always used to sort of like take the piss out of Africans because, like they said, all they do is either just study or read book. They're 99 and they're still in university or whatever the case was. But you know, that's what they was here for. So, say for example, they was a lot less confrontational than Caribbean people were, which was, I wouldn't say it was great because I feel that obviously Caribbean people on their own, off their own backs, did a lot for kind of like the peace and the rights of black people in the UK, because when there was fighting going on in Brixton riots and other riots, there was a lot of Caribbean people doing that. You know what I mean? Like now, obviously, I feel that it would be like a great mixture. It would just be black people, full stop. It don't matter whether you're Caribbean or African. But at that time, it was like the Jamaicans and the Caribbeans who were really standing up for man. So a lot of people kind of like looked at Africans and said, boy, you're not really hearing the struggle. Like when people are dissing us as black people, you're not really standing up, coming through and saying, hey, I'm not having that. the man there was at home eating their ground rice and whatever else. So,
but also as well, you look at the eras, the way that it's changed, because I'm sure like the way that when CJ's coming up doing your thing and you're getting involved in music and all the rest of it, like to you, looking at him, you're like you're welcoming of it because it's talent. When I was coming up and I'm saying to my mum and dad, I want to rap. You read your book, huh? Do you know what I mean? My parents would kill me. You got to be a doctor, a lawyer, or something, a pilot. You could never tell them that you want to rap,
be a musician.
Be a musician. That don't count. Them things don't count.
But you know what? To be honest with you, I don't even think that was just an African thing.
I feel like them times because there was no
real money,
obvious money in the game. Do you understand? So I feel like back then, if parents could see, okay, loads of other African youths or even just young youth in general making money from music, I think it would probably be more of an option to be able to accept it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
So how do you guys find it like now? I guess you're like we were saying, we grew up in a whole different era to you two. So
no, man still had it. Nothing crazy, but it was still just African thing, innit? Like name or man's name, innit? Just like man.
Did you have to bang man up a couple times?
You know what? I think in
yes.
when I went to Jamaica.
No, I mean here.
No, when I went to Jamaica.
Is it?
Yeah. Because I was the English Jamaican African youth. Yeah, so they weren't buying it, like even a full yardie or you're not. You understand?
Yeah.
So we know, like, I was like, because I went to school out there. Cause my auntie went out there for a wedding, so I went to school out there. So
I
yeah,
didn't even know that, you know.
I went to school out there for like a month.
Okay.
So yeah,
Not like a whole term, like that, or 2 years.
no, it was a month. Obviously, I was out there for, how long was I out there for? We was out there for about 2 months or 6 weeks, something like that. So yeah, mum was like, well, I got to go to school. So I went to school for like a month or whatever. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to punch out a couple little yard youths and that. They were just on this, yeah.
Well,
They're
they
doing-
pick up a rock or a stone. Oh, they love to pick up stone.
Yeah, they love pick up things, but I was battered, man. But they was on all the like sound effects thing, the whole yeah. They're doing like the doing all that. So yeah. So smash one out, yeah. But apart from that, nothing really. Whereas there was one you actually, obviously he said my name sounded like an aeroplane crashing, innit? So he was like, Cham. So apart from that was a little banter. Obviously my brother, so a man could run banter with him as well, get me a little yard you.
That's mad.
And then apart from that, yeah. But I think where I saw the main shift as well, obviously the time that, but I think obviously that was a big thing, I think, but I feel like mainly is when Afro beats came out.
Yeah.
That's when I think, because even you be in the dances, and okay, back then it was cool. Sorry, for like the African youth, like like say if man was in the dance or whatever, African youths would do the willy bounce and all them dance there to act like they're yard man. Yeah, but if African tunes came on, they weren't nothing vibey. So man, no yard man was doing no African man dance. But you see, like in the dances now, enough yard man doing the zonto, the this, the that, all the latest African dances. The yard man them are doing it. You understand? So I feel like that was the real game changer.
That's major though as well. And you know the funny thing about it is, it's like when you go to Jamaica or you meet certain Jamaicans, right? I'll say Jamaicans because I don't know. I guess maybe that must be the most popular country on the islands. You know what I mean? Jamaica, right? So in the Caribbean, I mean. So a lot of things sort of like come from the Jamaicans, yeah. So I'm bloody well losing my point here. Off asleep. What was I saying?
No, we don't know.
Something about the island.
Wait. So put it on. Wait.
Oh, it's alright. Just go.
It's gone. Yeah, I'll confuse me, man.
It went.
But yeah, my experience is a little bit different because where I grew up in the West Midlands and that, big up the WV2 man and that.
Dead.
ZTC. But like we had like more Asians in it. But the few guys that were African, they had like the shoes that were sharp at the end and that. So, like, if their man turned quick too much, your eyes gone, innit? So obviously their man used to get rinsed about that and stuff.
Yeah, the ruler shoes.
But because with Jamaicans, yeah, we had like the representation in it, like from Bob Marley down to like Stapleton, down to Bounty Killer, and then Vibes, and then now you got Popcorn and that.
That's it.
So that was cool. So when the Afro beats came along, the man saw like Wizkid and Davido and Burna Boy, and that's cool. So that's why now it's like.
But do you know what? You're
different.
1,000,000% right.
100%.
When you think about it, when you think about like Jamaica, the Caribbean, like everything you think about, when you think about it, you think about okay, it's a cool place. Like Bob Marley is cool. You know what I mean? Everything they do is associated with the coolness of it. Even like to the way that they smoke and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? Everything. You know what I mean?
You know what's mad as well, yeah? So to cut you, it's like now, like Ghana and that, that's the new spot. Like that's the spot. Like man, wherever you're from in the world, man's got everyone going on this year, yeah? Whether you're Jamaican, Chinese, that's the spot. Do you understand? That's the spot.
Because you got the representation from it.
But and that's what we never used to have.
That's
it. Once Afrobeats came about,
that was it.
Everything changed.
Yeah,
big time.
Because you look at the person, it's cool.
Yeah. And also when you look at like you said, the whole music thing, like whenever America sneezes, the rest of the world get the germs, innit? So it coming like when you see people like Drake and these guys like fucking with Wizkid and this, so they kind of co-signed Africa. Like, you know what?
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Because remember back in the day when 50 Cent was going Africa to go and do concerts and shows, it's only when you realise how much of these big artists actually go to Africa to do shows. Because you wouldn't know otherwise. You know what I mean? You just think, no one ain't going to Africa. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think like, there's been a massive change. and now it's kind of cool to be African. No one ain't hiding behind that. Where you from? I'm Jamaican.
No, it's,
Do you know what I mean?
it's
Or-
majorly cool.
or American or whatever.
Because I mean, I even know like certain people we know. We won't shout him out.
Yeah, shout him out, man.
We won't shout out Biggs, man. We won't shout him out, man. But people used to say that. People used to say, "Oh, my grandma or my granddad's from Jamaica." So this time now, yeah, they're saying, "But how comes your name's blah? Oh, but my grandma's from Jamaica or my granddad, so I've got blood." So they've been all kind of lies just to kind of like get in there, especially when they're chatting to gal. Listen, that was key, man. That was key.
Listen, I used to do that. I think
was key.
yeah, all that. You see a brother, he's pure Jamaican, and that's my brother. Hold on a minute, how is your brother? You're African. Yeah, but it's my mum's dad's dog's cat. Start reading the thing. It's my uncle's friend's cousin's brother's side or some shit like that, just to get it in there. Yeah. Mad thing. But you know what about your experiences, man? You be quiet over there.
Zona.
Yeah, about your experiences as a female, because this is male-led at the moment. So, what about your experiences as a female growing up, being African? Did you get rinsed? Were the Yardie man them on you, or was you too African for them, or like what was
I
it?
didn't even get looked at
Why not?
because I was African. I
Wow.
was Gambian, and I wasn't gonna change.
Did you have short back and side?
Never. I had
Bruh,
extensions.
high top and that. you know the shabba thing.
But hold on, wait. So where was this? Because like when you wake up and you come out your house, you don't have a sign on your head saying I'm African, do you?
No. Do you know what's weird? Actually, nowadays people think I'm Jamaican. I don't know why. I never get African, but yeah, I just think it's down to ignorance. Because when I was in school, they used to call me Queen of Zamunda.
Right, they went in.
Bruh.
You know, like from Coming to
America.
America. So they used to call me that, or Jiffy Joffy,
Bruh.
or what was the other one? Oh my God.
But how did you feel about that though?
Do you know what? Because my situation was a bit different. I was brought up originally by Jamaicans, because of different circumstances. So I was a bit conflicted because I don't cook African food. I cook Jamaican food, but because of the way I've been brought up, so I guess that caused a lot of confusion. So I used to get called Jafaican.
Oh right.
Yeah, but it wasn't my fault. It was my influences and what I've been brought up around. And you know, from a young age, I didn't know anything but Jamaican culture.
Yeah.
It's better than getting called the wanker. Yeah, you've done alright.
The wanker's a serious one, mate. And the wanker, that is cold.
But it was. I don't think it was that bad. But I definitely, the minute the juice, I couldn't escape it. So yeah, no one.
But to be fair,
no one really mucking about with the Africans.
but juice doesn't sound like obviously. If
I think it does.
Nah, I don't think juice. If juice could sound almost exotic, it could come from
French.
Yeah, French.
Nah, not when you're in school.
Not when you're
not in school, not in
you
school,
can't.
No way.
Not in school.
Yeah, not in
straight
school.
away, you're African.
If I heard
yeah,
you,
definitely.
I obviously growing up, I didn't hear no names like Juve in school.
Never.
No, I never heard of juice. I mean, obviously, Champ was the first juice I ever knew. But in saying that, I didn't automatically associate juice with Africa.
It's mad as well, yeah, because I remember in school as well, yeah, certain people, whether it's gal or whatever, even just growing up, like even, not as much now, but even like through like my early 20s and certain things, like, they used to call my sham. So
yeah.
like baby sham.
Yeah.
But more time, I couldn't bother to correct them, I just run with that, because that's cool, that was cool, innit? Baby sham was cool, innit? So it was like, yo, sham, so yeah, I mean that.
But when I was in college, actually, I do remember this. I don't know why I said it, but I used to say, "Oh, I've got a little bit of Portuguese in me."
Bruh.
You
Man,
was
you
reaching.
have to divert.
She was reaching. She
The only thing that is Portuguese is this weed.
Portugal, you know.
Okay.
Trying to do
Bruh.
exotic.
No, I tried it, you know, but
Try to add the European into
I
it.
don't know where I was going with that. You know what? One of them was where I convinced myself.
This is my thing with mad, innit? Because obviously I was fostered, innit? I was part of that whole farming thing. So I was fostered in Kent from when I was 3 months old to when I was like 9, 10. So when I came, I was proper fucked, bro. Like I never had no African identity. So when I came back to London, I was reaching. So Jamaica to me was like, because it was so lively and so vibrant, and the colours and the music and Bob Marley.
You naturally want to
I
cling on to
naturally
that.
gravitated
Yeah,
towards
yeah. That's right.
thinking I thought I was Shabba. I had the haircut and everything. You know what I mean? I got my hair lean to the side. I had to make sure it was length.
Come on.
Yeah, you know the haircut.
Yeah.
The right angle had to be right.
Stock
I
or
can
raps and
imagine that
that.
suiting you, though. I can imagine that suiting
I
you.
had that, you know the big chaps?
Yeah,
So the
come
big
on.
chaps with the stones in it.
Yeah.
And the big chain and those silk shirts and those
Silk?
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
What?
Real Shabba.
I used to walk into the rave thinking I was Beres Hammond. Come in the rave, walk in the rave, and get behind the sound system and start talking. It was mad thing, yeah.
No, but I think that, I mean, another thing that's obviously held us back a lot is the fact that a lot of our achievements as kind of like a nation, as a continent, Africa, have been sort of like hidden, you know, from the world. I mean, I guess now, since the invention of the internet a long time ago, obviously, like all of the information is kind of like at hand now. So if people really want to find out sort of like about Africa, about all of our contributions to the world and to history and to everything, architecture, medicine, you know, science, everything, that it's there at our fingertips to be able to see. So I think it's only kind of like in the last, I mean, I don't even know how many years you'd really say. I mean, I'd probably say about maybe 10, 15 years or maybe 20 tops, which is not that long ago when you think about it, that like for us as a black people are kind of like really screaming out literally, okay, well, we've done this, we've invented this, we've worked at these type of kind of like sciences or whatever it is.
You know what I think it is? And also, I mean, a lot of it's ignorance on our part. And I think as a black race, generally speaking, it's only in the last how many years when it's my personal opinion, where we felt proud enough to scream. And it's like we would want other people to show us the level of respect, and we ain't even respecting ourselves. We're not even being proud of our own achievements, but you want everyone else to be proud of our achievements. So only in the last, say, maybe 10, 15 years are we standing up to the rest of the world and saying, actually, look at me, innit? I'm being proud to do so.
Do you know what I think also helped that as well is actually social media.
No, definitely.
You see it everywhere, down to the traditional clothing. It's always made to look so beautiful on social media.
Yeah. True.
Not necessarily on, I know what you was talking about before, like the starving child, but if you just type in Africa, you'll see the most amazing pictures of different homes, different people, different tribes, different cultures, everything you can think of. I just think
and also,
social media has really contributed to that.
And also, where there's so many Africans now in places of power, where we're owning our own. Like, when you look at all the different factions, whether it's entertainment, music, media, there's a lot of powerful black people in these positions.
Even in the news.
There's a lot of business, a lot of construction in different countries in the world and that as well. A lot of construction that's going on where I think you got a lot of sort of like very wealthy Nigerian guys who are kind of like doing big things. I mean, Nigeria is a whole different conversation right now with what's going on there.
The SARS thing,
But I think that, as we were all saying and we're agreeing that we've come a long way already, but there's still so much further to go, because when you think about it, even if you go back to like the real essence of life, you know what I mean, the first man, Africa, you know what I mean, like the pyramids and all these like amazing structures that have been built that they're trying to deny to say that, we actually built them. And, there's just too many things to kind of like to be screaming about. And, I think that it is great now that kind of like we're finally sort of like standing up. We're proud of where we come from. We're proud of our music, our culture and everything else. And I think in and amongst that, I think it's kind of secondary, but it's important that as a people, like, from the Caribbean and Africa, that we've come together and we really are realising that we are one people a lot more. There's still people out there, you tell a certain Jamaican man, no, you're really African.
Nah, man.
Listen.
When I come from there,
Stop the fuck.
No, because growing up, because I'm Jamaican, growing up, you think, no one is like Jamaican. Yeah.
I thought he was African,
Yeah.
What? I thought he was African.
Yeah. But growing up, you'd think, nothing and no one is like Jamaican. But when you grow up, you think, Nigerians are practically Jamaican. Like they're the same people, same passion, same loudness.
They say even that, I'd have to research it to be factual about it, but I believe that the Jamaican colours are the same colours from the Ghanaian kente cloth.
It is.
I think it's exactly the same colours apparently, and that's what the Jamaican flag is actually made from, and I think partially represents those colours. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but
I'll look into that one.
I think that's right.
I hope so.
I've seen that somewhere. I don't give a fuck. That's what I heard.
They're going to kill you in the comments, man.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I hear you. So, has anyone else been chastised for where they come from then? That's what I want to know, like.
Yeah, so what about the food though? Like, I know that like people used to like definitely make fun of like African people when they're eating, because obviously when you're eating certain foods like fufu or whatever, you got to get the hands and like scoop the thing and all the rest. Do you ever eat like that?
Why are you saying that? No. Wait.
No, I'm just saying.
No, it's not what you said. It's the way you said it. Isn't it?
No, I'm just saying.
Make it sound like I've never had a knife and fork ever. Like I've never used a knife and fork.
Well, I'm just saying, when you have traditional food, you do the whole scooping thing.
See, that's the thing. When I first came from Kent, right, and
Man got the pose ready. So.
and I saw the big lump of white. I'm like, what the hell is that? And my mum was doing that, taking the thing and putting it in the soup, in the gussie or in the stew, and doing that. And all the, I'm like, nah, man, I'm not eating that shit. Man. I'm not eating that. And I remember I used to get rinsed because it's like Africans. They always show African people eating with their hands anyway. So that didn't help. Do you know what I'm saying? As it was. You know what I mean? You must admit, the African food back then, this didn't look like it.
I remember, listen,
nice.
My mum used to give me okra soup, and there was no way I was eating okra soup. Slimy, and I love okra soup.
Yeah.
But back then, you couldn't make me eat that. No chance.
This look like.
So you do eat with your hands and that?
I did.
Is that with your hands and feet, or just your hands?
Definitely eat with my toes. No, definitely not. But yeah, if you're gonna eat the food, you might as well do it traditionally. You might as well eat it properly. You can't eat like ground rice and them things with a fork. Don't tell me you eat that with knife and fork.
No, man's got the whole thing going on. Just it's nice.
What are you youngins?
Box that.
I can't lie, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I can't stand it.
Okay, let me ask you.
I don't mind it still.
Alright, so I've got a question for all of you then.
I can't stand it.
African food or Caribbean food?
For me,
I'm Caribbean,
Doesn't matter.
but I'm just saying because I grew up with my grandma, so it was like she was cooking every day. Every day was
So
a
yours is
bangers.
Caribbean food.
Jerk chicken, curry goat. It was just mad every day, 7 days a week.
But you know, African or Caribbean food?
So
I'm only
hold on, only later on, like way later when I come to London, that I got into African food. Cause throughout my whole childhood, I was never around that to even try it.
That makes sense.
So your preference is Caribbean.
Yeah, 100%.
my preference is Caribbean food only because of what I've been brought up around. But I do love a good benachin, which is jollof rice, which started in Gambia. So you Nigerians and Ghanaians can stop the nonsense about who's
It might have started there, but it's not a better version.
No, it's the original. It's the original.
Are you not gonna have that?
Nigerian
Don't have
shit.
it.
Just leave it out.
No, listen.
No, it's the original.
I can't lie.
It's from the Wolof tribe.
I think Nigerian rice might be the worst. I'm just saying.
No,
Listen, I've had Nigerian rice. I've had Ghanaian rice.
Huh?
I've had that Ghanaian jollof. I had Nigerian jollof, and obviously Gambian. You know, that's the proper thing.
No, I'll be honest
But I'm
with
just
you.
saying.
I didn't even know that Gambians could make jollof.
But listen,
It's
but
better.
we're the ones who
You
originated it.
originated it.
We originated.
So no one rated your thing.
But I'm not saying you didn't. But for a place that originated
Stop
it,
it, don't say
why don't no one ever talk about
Don't
it?
say it.
Other
They
than-
do.
other
They
than
do.
you lot.
They-
Only you three.
That's never in the conversation
That's
though.
what I'm saying.
It's
No,
Ghanaian or Nigerian.
But
No
listen,
one ever
Oh my
says
goodness,
Gambia.
that's
No,
Do you
such
know
a
why? Do you know why?
lie.
It's probably because of the size of the country, because Gambia is a lot smaller, so it's probably
100%.
less represented. But
Exactly.
when you think about it, right, Nigerians' jollof rice is
Listen,
Ball of
whether-
rice.
Wait, it's just red rice, fam. That's all. It's just red rice.
Uncle,
But even
It's red rocks.
But let me tell you, there was one Nigerian.
Sorry.
Listen.
If you bite that, you're gonna lose a tooth for him, boy.
See, I can't even comment. I
Say
can't
no dentures in that. Mash up your whole grill.
I can't even comment on you lot's rice because I've not tasted it.
Yes, you've never tasted benachin.
No, a bowl of you lot's rice is the same size as your whole country. So I'm not even.
Bruh.
I'm not even.
Smoke.
That's what I'm saying. No one ever talks about. No one ever talks about. Gambian jollof.
Let me tell you about something about Nigerian food, though, right? So there's a couple of Nigerian restaurants that I've gone to, and the food's really, really nice actually in the couple. But I've been to some. Oh my God! I saw this guy sitting. He was one of my brethrens, right? He went there to go and get some takeaway, and he was sitting down, and he had some rice, and all I saw was these 4 pieces of black coal on his plate. But it was supposed to be meat, fam. It was so hard.
But you know what? I'll be real with you.
It was terrible.
But I'll be
fam.
real with you. With every single race and every single restaurant and every single country, you can go to any place and get bad food. So it's not a Nigerian thing or a Gambian thing or a Caribbean thing. Because I've been to some Caribbean restaurants where I would never eat there again. So
That's a lie.
yeah, no, real talk.
true.
What?
That's true.
No, it's true.
In Gambia.
Oh, not Gambian.
I'm saying.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said
No, I'm saying every country. You know what I mean? You will get top end and bad end.
Yeah.
Oh,
You'll
right,
find
yes,
bad
in
food
that
every
respect,
country.
yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
just
saying?
thought you-
But without no jokes aside, I've not tasted
Gambian.
Gambian.
No, we're gonna bust you, man.
Yeah, Gambian food is
He's
proper
He's
elite.
never eaten at grandma's.
Yeah,
I don't know,
Benachin.
you know, I'm sure he
That's
has.
a
I'm
mad-
sure he
that's
has.
a
Because he
myth.
came round one Christmas,
been
actually,
there.
was there one
You
week.
have, you must have.
Yeah, probably. But
You
I don't know if
did.
I had jollof years ago.
No,
I-
he probably didn't have jollof that time. Then. But listen, if I, when I bring you round, or when I get you some like Gambian jollof rice, right? You're not even gonna you're gonna just say I'm not even Nigerian no more. You're just gonna be I'm Gambian. I'm changing my name to Jew.
we're gonna-
I'll tell you what, we're going to do a
Done.
blind test one
Christmas,
day.
Christmas. I'm coming around for Christmas.
No, but
again.
we'll do a blind test. What would be good is if we have a Nigerian person cook jollof, we'll have a Ghanaian person cook their jollof, and we'll have us cook our Benachin.
Okay.
Which is the same
And
thing, jollof. Yeah.
It's all the same. And we will see which one tastes the best.
No, I actually do want to taste. I do want to taste Gambian.
Yeah, we're gonna bust you.
Benachin is a
bust you.
whole meal. You've got meat in it, you've got veg in it. It's just simply delicious,
gonna
minus
bust
the
you, man.
pepper.
Yeah, man. I'm coming around for Christmas.
I'm gonna bust you. Don't worry.
Like after all the hype, that better be good, you know, because
No,
you've not been
it's
talking
good.
the thing.
Listen,
It better be
listen,
good.
it's
Don't
gonna be
worry.
mad.
Yeah.
It's gonna be mad, man. It's gonna be mad.
See that man were talking the hardest.
Yeah, talking the hardest.
But for me, my preference is definitely African food. I'd go between like okra soup, which I think they call super kanja as well. Then you've got plasas, which is like a spinach and like palm oil soup. And then you got like the jollof rice. You got like there's too many dishes, too many flavors. My mum's the maddest cook ever. She's getting old now, so she don't cook as much as she
Yeah,
used to.
mad.
But my mum is a wicked cook.
Because-
she used to be a chef, and she's just a bad cook.
I remember when they used to come for Christmas.
Yeah, man. She used to be a
No,
very
because
bad cook, man.
Nanny's was the first experience I had. I think me and KB moved out. Obviously, when I moved out my mum's, I was about 18, 19. And then Nanny bought me one thing called Damada.
Domada. Which is a Domada? That's the peanut butter soup one.
Yes.
I know. Do you know what?
With
It's
the
all
jello.
right, it's nice, but it's not my favorite.
Bro, that thing was
that Gambian?
mad.
Yeah.
That thing
know
there,
about these
I would
things.
never forget it.
Yeah.
Nanny said, "Right, Phil, you look like you're not eating and that." So Nanny brought me up. It was mad. Mad.
That's from a yard man.
Yeah.
And I was like 19 when I moved out. So that was my first experience.
Remember when you broke your tooth and you had the Nigerian food?
Yeah, remember? It was just after the same time when you choked on that Gambian bit of meat. You thought it was meat, but it was leg. Remember that time?
Well, yeah, that was my first experience and it was mad.
Crazy.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yep, so this is another edition of Jerk and Jollof with the Juice. I'd like to shout out my man, Mr. Freddie Nwaka.
Come
Can
on.
you give them your socials, please, bro, so they know where to see you and what to be looking out for?
Can't you make it sexy and put it all in the writing and stuff like
We
that?
can do that, but just give them tell
Alright,
them
so
the
like,
thing.
you can follow
we're
me
gonna,
on-
we're gonna get a little swoosh,
No.
like with your name and all the rest of
This
it.
is what I
that's
think
above your
we should
head.
do.
Nigerian flag.
Take over the whole show. Jerk and Jollof with Freddie. Forget about the rest of it. Yeah, just jerk and Jollof with Freddie. Yeah.
Nah,
No,
that's
I'm joking.
it's not gonna bang.
No, it's mad love. It's mad love. Like, obviously, I've grown with you. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like an honor to be amongst the family, man, and to be part of the show, man. So it's great. I feel like family anyway.
Your family, man, you know
I
that.
mean, real talk, man. So yeah, you can follow me on @the real Freddie Nwaka on all the socials.
Nwanka.
No worry about it.
Just do as you're told. Yeah? Everyone do as you're told. I mean, do as you're told. I mean, and just follow me on all the socials. Look out for my films. Got a bunch of films coming out next year. And yeah, hopefully, man, we can just keep doing what we're doing, man.
100%. Peace out.
Gang.